Well, guys, Bruno has once again come out and reiterated that he has no intention of leaving Newcastle United, which is fantastic news for all of us. Hi, guys, my name is Paul and welcome back to the Toon Review YouTube channel for your latest Newcastle United news. Thank you once again for tuning into the video. Yep, Bruno's come out and again denied any speculation about him leaving Newcastle United. Now, he's done this on numerous occasions because it seems to be that every transfer window that comes around, Bruno's name gets mentioned with a potential move to Manchester City, to Arsenal, or abroad, or wherever it may be. Now, he has stated in the past that he's a massive Barcelona fan and would at some point in his career like to play for Barcelona. That's fair enough. Most Brazilian players really have Barcelona, Real Madrid, etc. on their radar if they're a successful footballer. But Bruno right now, his head is well and truly with Newcastle United. His heart is well and truly with Newcastle United. And he has no intention of leaving the club unless it benefits Newcastle United. This is what he said. He said that he's very, very happy playing at Newcastle United. I'm very much at home and living a dream. For me to leave, it must be something great for the club, not for me. And I think that sentence there tells you everything you need to know about where Bruno's head is at right now. The fact that he said the move has to be great for the club, but not for me. He's not thinking of personal gain at all. And it kind of tells you what kind of bloke Bruno is as well. What kind of person he is. Very professional, but loves Newcastle United. He went on to say, I don't worry about all the speculation. I trust the club and my agents. I'm so happy here and I want to stay. I've spoken with Pep Guardiola in the past, but nothing about a potential move. He said some very nice things to me about my game, and I'm very humbled by that because he's one of the best coaches I've ever seen. I admire how he has impacted football. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. We know that, Guardiola has spoken to a lot of players after games. You see him talking to opposition players very, very often, actually, after Man City games. But that doesn't mean that he's trying to sign them or he's giving them hints that he wants them to come to Manchester City. He's very complimentary as Pep Guardiola. And we've seen that many, many times in the past. And, as far as I'm concerned, Bruno's just paying a compliment back to Pep Guardiola. There's nothing in it. You look at the sentences above before he started talking about Pep Guardiola, the fact that the move has to be good for Newcastle United and not him, and he wants to stay. He trusts Newcastle United, he trusts his agents, and he's very happy to be at Newcastle United. Now, one thing Bruno has also said is regarding Eddie Howe. He spoke about the manager, and I think this is really heartwarming stuff from the captain. He said, basically, it's tough to describe what a fabulous human being Eddie Howe is. You'd have to work with him on a daily basis to get the full picture of what I'm talking about. I have no doubt that we beat Liverpool because of him. He was like, we're not dropping our lines. We'll keep pressing high, man to man. Liverpool weren't expecting that at all. He is by far the best European coach I've ever had. And no doubt he'll be England manager one day. As a person, he's a sensation, a true legend. He's gifted with a strong man and management skills. He knows exactly the best way to talk to you in private, in the dressing room, and in the press. He still has a long and promising career ahead of him. Now, they are fantastic words about a manager. There's not many players that would come out and describe their manager as that kind of person. But what I really liked about that, and what I want to highlight from that comment there from Bruno, is that he's in private, in the dressing room, and in the press. 3 different things about describing a footballer. So in private, he could be very, very different on a one-to-one level, in a group session in the dressing room, and in front of the media. That just tells you all you need to know about how much Eddie Howe is loved. He may be a drill sergeant on the training pitch, which is what you want from a manager. And, he said that in his press conference the other day when Dan Burn said, he made a comment that Eddie was back for 30 seconds and he stopped the training session to have a go at something. That's what you want. You want that kind of man. But you also want a manager who is fantastic on a one-to-one basis with your players and is fantastic around the group in the dressing room. And Bruno highlights everything there. And of course he goes on to say he'll be England manager one day. I don't think anybody doubts that Eddie Howe will be on the England radar one day, hopefully years down the line after he's won loads of stuff with Newcastle United. And the statue of Eddie is well and truly built outside the ground. That's way down the line. He's still a very young manager, Eddie Howe, in comparison to a lot of other managers in football. But listen, when you've got your captain talking about you like that, that just says where Newcastle United's dressing room is right now. It's a fantastic compliment to the manager, but also gives the fans an insight into what these players do think of Eddie Howe. We know that there's a fantastic morale in that dressing room. No matter when times are up or times are down, they still rally around each other. When you've got a manager who can do that on a personal level, in a dressing room, in front of the media, you gain respect and love from those players. And they will give blood and thunder on the pitch for your manager. They will give everything they can for Eddie Howe and the coaching staff. And we've seen that numerous times when things haven't gone right, they've rallied round, they've spoke individually, the players away from Eddie Howe to put things right. We've seen that a couple of times this season. And that's what really convinces me that we will finish in the top 5. We will be a Champions League team next season, because we may not have the best team in the world by a long way. We've got a long way to go to build this squad. But one thing that nobody can take away is that morale and that family dressing room atmosphere, which is second to none. You cannot take that away. It cannot be highlighted highly enough how important that is in a dressing room. No doubt about it. So it's fantastic news for me, and brilliant of Bruno to come out and say such great things about his manager and about the club. Now, Bryan Mbeumo, one man who has many, many times been linked with Newcastle United, and for me as a fan, would be a perfect fit down that right-hand side for Newcastle, undoubtedly. We know that Jacob Murphy's doing a fantastic job there this season, but we do need to take a step up. Jacob Murphy will still be in the squad next season, and a brilliant squad player at that, to replace whoever he does replace. What it does do is it gives us a little bit of, an opportunity to keep changing the side. The rotation will be there next season. But if we get Bryan Mbeumo, I think that would be a massive coup for Newcastle. And he has actually now hinted at leaving Brentford. Obviously, his manager does not want him to leave. Thomas Frank, of course, does not want a player like Mbeumo to leave. But Thomas Frank knows that Brentford may have to cash in on him at some point, because Brentford are very much a selling club. And the manager has already indicated that on numerous interviews. He says, it's a good question on Mbeumo. I'm the head coach. I want all of my players to stay forever. I know that Bryan is very happy being here at Brentford. He is thriving and doing very well and playing fantastic. What happens in the future, I don't know. I've said many times that we, as Brentford, are a selling club, but also to reinforce that there are probably only around 10 clubs in the world who aren't selling clubs. But I'm very happy he's here, and also convinced that Bryan will still be happy here at the football club. He then went on to say, I've said many times, what happens in the future, I don't know about. We will just have to wait and see. And Mbeumo then went on to say, I've spent 5 years at Brentford at a club that has allowed me to grow and pass a milestone. But yes, I would like to play in the biggest competitions at the best clubs. It is tantalising to see some big clubs interested in me. We will see. And that's really the first time that Mbeumo has actually come out and said that he's really delighted with all the interest in him, and rightly so. He's had a fantastic season at Brentford yet again, and I think Brentford, in Thomas Frank's own mind, Mbeumo will be moving, and hopefully it'll be to Newcastle. All the links seem to indicate that Mbeumo himself would love to move to Newcastle. His representatives are very interested in discussing a move. That's been reported many, many times. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. But the fact that the transfer window opens for 10 days on the 1st of June, and Eddie's already said he wants to get business done quick, expect Newcastle United to be quick movers in this. And Mbeumo himself, he was asked what his favourite ground was to play at, and he said St James's Park. So whether that's an indication, I don't know, but it's very exciting, isn't it? Whatever happens, this transfer window is going to be incredible. And if we can get Mbeumo, I think that's a massive signing for us. And finally, James Trafford. Now, there was a lot of speculation last summer, of course, about James Trafford moving. There was almost a deal done. Trafford and Newcastle United have both said that there was a deal almost in place. However, he decided to stay at Burnley. He's obviously helped them get promotion back to the Premier League now. And he's had a brilliant season. There was a lot of doubt about James Trafford, certainly when his name started getting banded around with Newcastle. He just had a rocky period with Burnley, of course, but he's come back and he's been immense this season. Hasn't conceded many goals at all. He's been lauded by many managers in the Championship, thinking he's been the difference in a lot of games, to be honest, and has been outstanding for Burnley. Still only 22, of course, but now that Burnley have been promoted back to the Premier League, does this have an impact on us signing James Trafford? Apparently not. Apparently James Trafford is still wanting to play for Newcastle United. Anthony Gordon has already described him as an outstanding goalkeeper, and it's a move that I could see happening. It's been mentioned many times about Nick Pope. Has that shoulder become a real problem? Are Newcastle willing to go with Nick Pope again next season, or are they going to bring James Trafford in to be the number one? Because he won't come if he's not going to be number one. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. Not with Dubravka still here as well. So would it be Nick Pope moving on? Very exciting and interesting again as to see what Newcastle United do when this window opens. But one thing I would expect, guys, is Newcastle United to come out of the traps racing on the 1st of June to try and get deals done. The 10 days that the window's open, to try and get them all done so Eddie's ready for pre-season. Yes, there could be a couple of signings when the transfer window reopens later on in the summer, of course, all the way up to the deadline. There could be deals that Newcastle United simply can't turn down. Eddie mentioned the PSR, the PSR stuff. We could be going in for players that need to move clubs because of PSR. We've been in that situation with Minte and Anderson. It may be very different this time around. So, hey, this could be a very interesting and brilliant summer for Newcastle United. But again, let's not count chickens. Let's just wait and see what they do. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do put a comment down below for what you think of all today's news. And of course, if you have enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. And if you are new, do subscribe. It is free to do so. It's a brilliant community here on the Toon Review, but please make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. And please do check the website out, thetoonreview.com, for all your Toon Review merchandise. But thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you very soon. Take care.